TK, and this is Inside the Mead Makers Studio, where we catch the buzz on some of the best meads around, get to know mead makers from around the world, and explore the world of mead making. Tonight, we are going to be speaking with John and Nina and John from Rag Bone Meadery in South Jersey. So we've had a little bit of technical difficulties, as we tend to do on TK and Drinks. It is how it is. Tonight, I'm going to be joining some IPAs from some local spots because I'm basic and, sometimes it's, how it is. So as soon as we get them joining back in, we will get them on. Had one of those situations where we could hear each other but not see each other. So obviously I think my video is on here. So I just turned it off. Now you guys can see me again. All right, so got my video on. So hopefully when they get back in, they'll have their video on straight away. Everything will be cool. All right, there we go. Let me send them a request. Fingers crossed technology wants to work today, eh? Hallelujah.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, we're halfway there.
Oh, no, not again.
Can you guys not see me?
I can't see you. Hold on. We're going to try to just turn our camera, maybe the horizontal versus vertical.
Say here. Yeah, because I'm seeing you. There we go. Now I can see you.
Oh.
I don't know if it...
Well, if you can see us, that's pretty cool. I still can't see you.
Yeah. And they can... And the worst part about it is, even last time when we couldn't see each other, the audience could probably see both of us, which is really frustrating.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean, is anybody in the chat? Can we reach out to chat?
Yeah, anybody out there who can see whom out there? Can you see us? Can you see me? Can you see them? I know my dad's out there. How about Indy?
All right.
Indy Mead, if you're still there. All right, so there we got one person says they can see both of us, so we can try to disconnect and try for a third time's a charm, or you want to push forward. I'll leave that call up to you guys.
Wow. I mean, I'm happy to just to talk to you here. We're trying to. So how
it was better the other way.
It was better the other way. Okay, so we just got to kind of figure this out here.
No,
our stand.
No, you're good.
It's a bit small for this here. So.
Yeah, Instagram isn't the best with their horizontal or landscape.
Yeah. In the meantime, enjoy the scenery of our newly renovated tasting room.
Absolutely.
All the way around.
Whoa! Here. All right, now that's a cool concept. Painting a deer body over on the deer head. That's legit.
Yeah, that's it's one of the oldest graffiti in this building here. When we started renovating it, it had graffiti all over the place, and we kept the deer. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because you guys own like a farm. It used to be a farmstead or an actual farm, and are making your meadery out of an old, what you refer to as "quote unquote" the shed, and your greenhouse on this situation, which is one of the reasons I've been following along, and was hoping I get to see a little more progress in the YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel kind of died. I'm assuming because life happens and construction and meaderies take up a lot of time.
Yeah. It's a lot. I really want Nina to field this question, and right now she's holding the phone because we can't get this. But I'm gonna get her sitting back down, and she's taking it away. All right, we got a new cue.
She's on the run. You feel free to take some time, find somewhere to set it. Hey, there we go.
All right.
Hi.
Hallelujah. Hi.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you guys.
We went for horizontal.
Good. And it's terrible that Instagram can't get their ducks in a row as far as like just simple things like orientation of a video.
Yeah, that's all right though. But yeah, this is my family's farm. We've been here since the early '90s, and so a lot of outbuildings were outdated. So it's been a lot of work. I know how to drive a tractor really well.
Nice.
I wish I could say that I've been doing more mead making, but we've become more woodworkers than mead makers recently.
Love framing.
Yeah.
Electrical.
Yeah, it seems like every time I look at you, you guys are doing something new. You guys had new power that had to be ran for a couple 100 feet. It seemed like, and you guys
Yeah.
redid this the framework on your greenhouse. You guys are master journeyman carpenters at this point. It seems.
That's
Yeah.
so nice of you to say. Oh man.
But
And you know what? Thank you for inviting us on your channel to talk.
oh
Doing things like this, it really brings us back to like the mead making community. And I feel like
yeah
you said it, like our mead making channel, we haven't posted in a long time. And like
yeah
honestly, we have like cut videos ready, like 3/4 finished editing, but like we've been busy
yeah.
around here and it's tough.
Oh, I could imagine like anybody who's in the process of opening a commercial meter. I say making one, opening one, it's kind of the same thing, however you want to put it. But everybody seems to kind of die off on the socials for a good portion by comparison, relative to what they were doing. They cut it back by a good percentage, and I can again only assume it's because you're doing so many things that are related to trying to keep your business afloat, because a lot of times you guys have the fortunate aspect of not necessarily having a lease payment outside of where you're already at, because I can imagine the added stress that has on top of all these other things. So just keeping yourself afloat, and imagine you're both still doing your regular quote unquote 9 to 5 gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a gig worker. I've been
Oh
mostly performing, but not recently. It's just mostly this, and sometimes I take on editing jobs. But John still goes back out to sea in Alaska every summer
oh yeah
as a marine biologist. So it's not only so we don't get much done in the summertime, I should say, but that's okay. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, it looks like we're having some technical difficulties there. I can't control it. I'm having really stormy weather where I'm at, so I'm sure that's contributing to the cruddy technical problems. But so you guys,
But yeah, no, you
so
nailed it on the head there. When you said that, working this meadery or working this farm into a meadery, the overhead is much lower than, having a commercial space. We wanted to do so much with this farm, and like, what were you saying about like buying a warehouse?
well, yeah, if we just wanted to open a meadery and just make mead, we would have leased a commercial property 4 years ago. Like, it's for us, it's not just about making mead. It's
right,
about making a life for ourselves here. And I love this is my hometown, and I grew up here, and it's a rural New Jersey town, which is unique.
yeah,
And I didn't want to start a business somewhere else. I wanted to start a business here in my
yeah,
hometown. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer. I wish it could be quicker, but
yeah,
yeah, like that. But
sure.
uh,
Yeah, but when the township says that you got to jump through some special hoops, well, if you want to work in this town, then yeah, you jump through those hoops.
oh yeah, because it's a dry town.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, yeah, South Harrison, we're a dry town, but I mean, it's very famous, like Lynchburg, Tennessee, where Jack Daniels is made. That's also a dry
Yeah,
town, but they have special stipulations, and so long as you stick to it,
yeah.
you can do it.
Holy
Yeah.
cow! So are you guys going to be allowed to have a tap room at all, or is it going to be only to go sales? How do you work around that? That sounds difficult.
You're right. Well, the interesting thing about our town is that, like I said, we're a rural New Jersey town, and
Yeah,
so the upholding the agricultural legacy of the town is really important. So as long as you are a working farm, a tax assessed working farm,
yeah.
and you grow your own product, you can make an alcoholic beverage out of that product. So there is one
Oh,
other winery in this town, and they have a vineyard. We have about 8 hives. Well, we're
Growing
fluctuating.
and growing.
And
Yeah, so we're keeping our own bees, making
yeah.
our own honey that we turn into mead.
So
are you only allowed to use your own honey then, or do you just have to be producing like a certain percentage of it, or something along those lines? That sounds very, that sounds like a really cool like caveat.
Yeah, well, one of the good things is that there is an extremely large producer of honey in our county, which
Okay.
is very good for us.
yeah, so we can
Sure.
supplement and use other like apiaries because it's a, as you probably know, just from talking to other meaderies and experiencing mead making yourself, it's
Yeah.
just it's a lot of honey, like buckets and buckets and buckets of honey,
Thousands of gallons.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
my buddy Carlos down in Texas, he's opening up a meadery. He just got his first shipment. He unloaded it. His first pallet of 4 drums of honey. He said it was like 1,600 pounds.
That's
And that really
incredible.
puts it into perspective. Yeah, and that's, who knows if that's how many more of those are on the way, because like you said, it's a honey consuming business. I like many people before they start home brewing, at least, and certainly commercial guys, you buy honey at the store and you see the prices, you kind of just grab what you grab. Then once you become in the know at the farmers markets, you become a little bougie, so to speak. You think you got a little knowledge under your belt, and then next thing you know, you're buying $600 buckets of Tupelo honey, and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you're driving down to Florida specifically to just load your truck up with honey, Tupelo honey.
Right. Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah,
Who wants to go to Disney? Forget it.
Oh, 100%. It's like, yeah, you can have a vacation for the price these people are paying. Everybody, us include, everybody's paying for honey. I mean, you count it all up, it's heavy.
But yet, Carlos of Texas, Longhouse Mead, I think is. Yeah,
Yep.
I remember that collaboration we did, all us like YouTube mead makers.
That was a year ago or so.
I've loved seeing his journey with that because I feel like
Oh yeah.
I love seeing other people who just started as like maybe YouTube hobbyists just get into it because that's what we did. So it's really fun to see other people also succeed. I love seeing updates from him, and like our friend Faywood, Mandy from Faywood, has been working at Magic? I want to say Magic Thistle, but it's Thistle Rock Mead. And so cool. We met up with her. And so she's been working there, and oh my god, it's just so cool.
It's great, and I love that Mead is still surging. Everybody was saying, "Oh, it's just going to be a flash in the pan. It's a fad. It's going to pass." But no, I mean, I see meaderies are growing strong, and unfortunately, I have seen a couple cave in and collapse. But I'm really excited and optimistic about the industry.
Yeah, I'm keeping a map on my a section on my Google Maps of all the different meaderies that are open and closed, and unfortunately, the closed one is a little bit more than a few, but certainly not in contrast to the amount that is opening, which is leads me to believe, like you said, very much so that it's on an upward trend, and still so even after the, most craft alcohol is on a, I would say, really rough, rocky patch right now, especially after, all the this whole, I can't get over these like no drinking Novembers and sober Octobers and dry Januaries. It's like, man, I have some real personal feelings about those things.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah, it's
and moderation in all things, but if you want to have a dry spell, but you're right. Does it have to be all of a sudden seemingly endless spans of months?
Well, it's because it's gimmicky to me. It's like you're only doing it because it's a fad. You know what I mean? If you want to take some time for yourself to do dry because that's you, then do you. Don't do it because some internet trend told you to do it.
Yeah. In one way, I do want to not alienate, but we do want to offer things that aren't alcoholic here.
Oh, for sure.
Just in case for DDs or people who just want to chill and hang out.
Absolutely. Yeah. But that's a choice you guys are making. It's as conscious, business owners, as opposed to, hey, we're just going to not do this because 65 people on the internet said to not do it or whatever it is. I love it. And it goes back to you're growing up in a small town. You're very much a community oriented person. You guys like where you're at and like being a part of that community. So it stands to be that you would, put customers first. You would want to be, jovial beings. So it doesn't surprise me at all that you guys would take other people into consideration. I love it.
I appreciate that. Yeah. People have even asked if, like, will we be like a dog allowing winery? Like, I know that there are like specific like breweries and that are very catered to dogs. They have like dog parks and water out for the dogs and all that stuff. And I had actually never considered it. We have, we're on about 6.5 acres.
10 really when you put together.
And so I guess you could technically have a dog here, but
at the same time, we do pasture raised chickens, and we have the hive on the back end of the property. So it depends on how well, I guess, your dog is, and so maybe we'd have to just like have a strict leash thing. But
that's what I appreciate about having sort of like you said, a community-based, small, local business, because it's like then on a case-by-case basis. Like, is your dog nice?
Is it lazy? We love a lazy dog.
Yeah, bring your lazy dog.
I love it. Yeah.
But I don't know. So we do really want to welcome all people, and I guess that may also be dogs. We'll see. TBD.
Yeah.
Welcome people and.
So I think I may have cut you off earlier, or maybe I can't remember because I'm getting old. Did you mention? Are you guys going to be able to have a tap room even since you are producing your own alcohol, or does that mean you're only allowed to produce it and just sell it there? So I'm kind of curious of how that all works.
Yeah, we'll be able to have a tap room here. This will be. I guess I could take the phone for a walk. I don't.
Yeah, let's see what we got in here.
If I lose you,
I love a tour. No, you're good.
But this will.
The folks over the Meadies say that they allow dogs on leashes, and people always appreciate that. So there we go. These one meaderies putting dogs on leashes. Awesome. All right. So what do we got here? We got a tap. Is that the kegerator you guys picked up from the brewery?
It is. Yeah. So actually, it was another meadery that opened up in Central Jersey, and they went from an 8 to a 16
legit
tap. And so we bought their old 8, and it's a perfect space, and it fits in the alcove of this building like just absolutely perfectly.
And I love the design aspect of whoever framed the TV directly above the tap handles. So it's like perfectly centered. Like the layout of that wall behind the tap handles is phenomenal. I thought when you guys initially had the camera set there, it was great.
Let's turn the camera around to Nina so we can see how much she's blushing right now, because this is 100% Nina.
You're so sweet.
Well,
but then we have
exactly like something my wife would do too. So no, I love it here. No,
I love it. So basically, this is where this would be like the tap room, and then we have this whole seating area just out here in the connected greenhouse. It's a little bit of a disaster. I apologize.
Yes.
But we've got the table. We've got some painting projects going on. But
yeah. So
this is our 50-foot.
Is that going to be this? Is that going to be the seating area for the tap room?
Yes, there is some seating inside here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be basically we're in the process of building long tables about 12 feet long. These are just some folding tables here. But yeah, and then we'll probably have some little tables on the side. Oh, and it's also the same wood that we built the bar out of, because it's a tree that fell on my father's house.
I was going to ask that question. I have that written down here in my notes here. So this is the tree right here that we're looking at, is the actually fell through the house, and you guys said, "I'm going to show you, tree. I'm going to make something out of you." And I love the live edge on it. That is phenomenal, man. I am so impressed with your handiwork, dude. Congrats to you guys for that. That looks beautiful.
Oh, you're so sweet. I swear that you were just the nicest.
I hadn't done any woodworking. I hadn't done any woodworking since high school, and so this was the first project that I had done in a real long time. And
Yeah.
this is black. It's black locust, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the color of
Yeah,
it.
it
This
is.
is a natural oil finish, and
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. And you know, one thing I just love about working with this wood, not only is that, you know, it was essentially given to us. Like, I mean, like the tree
Yeah.
fell on the house, and we just had to mill it. So
Okay.
that was a whole. But like this was material that we were just given to work with. Like, here,
Yeah.
take it. So when we cut it into slabs, we have a whole host of slabs that we're still working on. That's what the tables for the outside seating is going to be out of, and it's all like 2.5 inches
Nice.
thick. So this is like
That's some
this is.
sturdy. We can
And
do
you
some
could dance
Coyote
on the
Ugly up
ball.
in there. Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
You want me to
Yeah.
do
No,
it?
I love it.
Maybe after a glass or two of mead, I will.
So yeah, get a couple meads in you. We can do some Coyote Ugly. No, this is awesome. What's that? Pan over to the other side. It looked like a spiral staircase
Oh,
in the corner. Oh no, I guess it's just the.
it
Is
is.
that a spiral staircase? That's
Yeah, so
legit.
the upstairs won't really be available for guests yet.
Oh.
So for now, it's just kind of a guest room
Oh.
of sorts.
Okay. Yeah.
But
There's a meadery in Oklahoma called B&G Meadery, and they live above their meadery. Like they have
get
a
out.
staircase like that in their meadery. I think it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, tell them it's going to be our office.
Hey,
Oh, yeah. An office, yes.
an
Sorry, just
office.
taking you on a tour.
No, I love it. No, it's what people want to see. It's what I want to see. This is exactly what I want to. Like I said, when I started my mead thing, it was in like right in about the middle or April of 2020
Mhm.
when I got laid off, and I've got a buddy who runs a meadery, John Opegard at Opegard Meadery in Washington,
We
and
love
We
him.
love his memes. He
oh
is great.
yeah, him and I went to high school together. We used to be roommates after, and I love that guy. He's amazing. But he got me into all this, and when I started looking at that epic beard, I mean, that's a beard you could set your clock to. I don't know what that saying means, but I've always heard that as like something means a good thing. So I love his beard too. But when I started doing this, um, I was looking at other YouTube people, and you guys were ones because you were doing that Mead Hall series still at the time, and Man-Made Mead was in there, and yeah, I
Yeah.
bet you do. And and I just want to let you know that was inspiring to me, and to see that other people were doing it successfully gave me, encouragement to do what I'm doing. I wouldn't be here talking to you guys if it wasn't for you guys doing what you did. So I think I was one of those Morbius things, come full circle. So
PK, I gotta say, I'm totally impressed with all your interviews. Like, you got
oh
some
wow,
stars on your channel these days.
I'm very thankful that you think that. That's awesome. I'm having a
Moonlight.
great time doing it. Who was that?
Yeah, Trams and Moonlight we just saw. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you're
I'm gonna be
interviewing
having
a lot of people too.
yeah, I'm trying to get as many people that aren't necessarily get a lot of exposure. I feel there's a lot of meaderies that kind of get the most attention, so to speak. And I want to talk to them too, like Superstition and Moonlight, these Shrams, those guys get a lot of love. But the home brewers and the people that are like you and like Carlos and these people, and Mandy now, that I think that's awesome that a YouTuber goes from, a home brewer to doing that to actually working in a legit meadery. I mean, that's my legit. I'm super envious of that, of her. I think that's absolutely amazing. But
Yeah.
um, I guess it's just a community thing. I want to help support as many people within the community because as many people have helped me along the way. It's one of those things, what was that movie? Pay It Forward. Just try to help others as you've been helped in the past, so to speak.
Right.
So it's the least I could do. Well, I guess the least I could do would be nothing, but this is one better than that.
I love it. I love to see it. And like I said, thank you so much for inviting us. Like, I really appreciate it. And, it brings us back into it. And, every time that we can do a mead project, it just makes me feel like maybe we should be filming this because we made a few mead, just to keep our skills sharp. We've still been homebrewing, and, it's just like, should we be filming this? Should we take some more pictures? And
Yeah. Yes.
sometimes we do, but like other times it's just like today we had a delivery of rock and stone
Oh,
for our
cool.
parking lot, and we were out in the rain because some of the materials was kind of like sensitive to what, like we had a lot of cussed concrete that we had to push around
Oh, yeah.
with. So we were out there working in the rain to get everything all set, and
Yeah.
and I was really glad that when Nina said, "All right, we got to come in, we got to get ready for TK."
Yes. No more hard work for the day, or no more physical labor for the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, on top of doing the regular work,
Yeah.
you probably understand as much as anybody, like the filming part of it is work on top of that. If I had like another person, if there was a third one of us,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
like maybe they could just work on the filming stuff. It's hard because it's when you're filming work, you're doing twice the work, and
Yeah.
it's like where does the energy go to?
Let me
Because Nina was the
let you.
one who.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
sorry. Yeah, go.
Let me let you in on a little secret here. You know why I started doing live videos? Guess what doesn't require editing?
I was just gonna say, TK, on our channel, Rag Bone Meadery, Nina did all of the editing for all of those
Oh yeah.
videos. And so she
Yeah.
would spend hours and hours working on those videos.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I mean, I just can't express like how thankful that, we had the time in order to do that.
Yeah.
And her ability to be able to do that and like add in the music, make it cut so that I didn't sound like I stuttered or tripped over my words at any time, and made me sound super professional.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. Well, I went to school for video editing and, I got one of them art degrees and all that stuff. So I really understand, like, you can really nerd out on this stuff and start getting, like, really nuanced down into the frames. Okay, do I go back to frame 28 or 29? 28, is the mouth like this? Or like this? Which
yeah,
one do I?
yeah,
Yeah. I completely
yeah,
get it, and that's exactly why I do lives, is because there's so much less editing, and being a full-time parent, working full-time, sometimes more than 40 hours a week, commutes, all that. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's my style of busy, your guys' style of busy. Busy is busy, and anytime I don't have to sit down and edit, I'm on board.
yeah, yeah. I was getting deep into it. I'm like, we should get a second camera. We should get lav
Oh,
mics.
same.
Yeah, it's just,
They're still
I'm
they're
like,
still in my Amazon cart.
what are we doing? Are we mead makers, or are we like a full in-house production studio?
Yeah, I
Oh
tell
yeah.
you, when we get our license to sell mead, we're gonna have some great production shots. I can tell you what.
Oh, I mean, I love Garrett over at Man-Made Mead. That dude, he does a lot for the homebrew community. He does a
Oh
lot
yeah,
for advocating for mead as a brand. But I believe in my heart of hearts, as soon as they have kids, a lot of that's going to slow down significantly. If they
And
choose to have kids. I don't know what their plan is, but if they have kids, that'll slow down. I mean, because doing the most is the same way. They had a little kid recently.
that's right.
His content slowed down a little bit.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's a. Doesn't Garrett play the saxophone? I feel like he played the saxophone one
Well,
time, or he played.
he's a music teacher, so it wouldn't surprise me if he played a variety of instruments.
I always love to see that kind of personality. They're great guys. I really enjoyed that collaboration
Yeah.
we did with them a couple years ago. They're so knowledgeable and they're kind and they're smart. Like they are like, hey, okay, this is what we're doing and this is how we're gonna do it. Like
Yeah.
I appreciated how direct they were when we were like getting a bunch of people together to collaborate like that was no small feat, and I really appreciate the work they did.
Yeah, and it was like during the pandemic times too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're organized
They've
guys.
Yeah, I'm doing his Ultimate Mead Maker 2024 challenge right now. So he's had to at least start off by managing 16 people, and he seems to have it under control. It's managing mead makers a lot like wrangling cats. It's not always the easiest thing to do, and he seems to have a pretty good grip on it. It's probably from being a teacher. He's used to dealing with children.
Oh, it's great. We've got a lot of great people in this community, and it's
Yeah.
been really awesome to meat because there's not a lot of people around here know what mead is. I mean,
Sure.
You probably get this. They're like, "Oh, are you opening a butcher shop?"
Oh, a meat? What
And
kind of meat
no.
are you guys gonna sell? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, I see you got chickens running around.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, then you guys being on a farm probably even get it worse. Oh, yeah, and you'd be selling goats and chickens, and oh, I'm here for it. And you're like, oh, unfortunately not. We just sell alcohol in a dry county or city.
Yeah, yeah. So it's I'm really excited to open our meadery in this small town, kind of because
Yeah.
what if everyone really likes it? What if it becomes like a big thing here and they're like, oh, we're so proud of our mead here, our honey
Yeah.
wine.
Yeah. But then again, but the people who know, and our
Yeah.
business has been like our business phone is just blowing up. Every day we get a call from somebody who finds our website and they're like, "Oh, are you guys really going to open? Like, I've been looking forward to this for a long time." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"We're working on it. We're working on it." And then another person's like, "Oh, I want to have my wedding here. Oh, I want to have my bridal shower here. I want to do this and this." And I'm like, there's only so many times I can say, "Hold on, we'll get there soon." And
Yeah.
it's just so tough to turn all these people down.
Well,
And
do you guys have
because the people who know Mead, they want Mead.
Yeah.
do you have a time frame for
Yeah.
opening? I mean, you're doing all this stuff. Was there an initial time frame? Are you past it? Or I mean, how's all that going? Because that's one thing I kind of don't really haven't seen online or heard about.
I do feel like we're always pushing it back for one reason or another, and
Oh, sure. That's life.
but I think
Yeah, we were very optimistic when we started. We incorporated in 2020, right at the heart of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then I went out fishing to try to raise money, thinking that I can get everything that we needed in one season. And that wasn't the case. Turns out, some of the buildings needed some major repairs. And nobody expected that the price of materials was going to go up nearly 100% during the pandemic.
Or
Even
more in some
like
situations.
yeah, so like our budget was absolutely crippled by just production costs of
Yeah.
materials. So that was really tough for us, but we pulled through, and it took us a little bit longer because I mean I still netted the same wage as I would have, and everything just kind of stayed steadily increasing. That was tough.
Yeah.
We had a real lean year also, which was tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're here and we're still working. This was a very good year for us, and
Awesome.
with any luck,
Congratulations.
we're gonna get everything that we need wrapped up in this spring. Like this is like knock on worked so hard that we knocked you off the shelf.
Yes.
But we're
we're
hoping that 24. We're hoping that 24 is our year. We really are.
Okay.
So we'll be opening up the farm to events this spring. So we'll at least be able to host people here. We are fans of D&D, and so we have a lot of like professional dungeon master friends who we would love to open the farm to them to be, getting some sessions going, getting some D&D sessions going, and just tabletop gaming in general, or magic if you're into that,
Oh,
and just
I'm
opening up
into all of that.
Yeah, not close up magic.
But no, Magic the Gathering. Come on, now I'm from Seattle. I grew up on Richard Garfield, baby.
That's awesome. So yeah, we just want to be able to host any number of events here, and so that'll be the first step when we open, and then the mead comes several months later because we do wine style. Yeah, and we will have some sessions right off the bat, just some fun things to.
Yeah, if you're fans of the channel, you'll recognize a few of them. So
Okay, awesome. Now, have you guys been out touring or done any events or farmers markets or anything within the scope of legality to get your guys' products out there? Or do you guys, I mean, because if you're getting phone calls at the meadery, it can't all just be from Google searches and the yellow pages, so to speak, to date myself there.
Well, it's we are farmers first. So we've been selling our honey, and we've been selling like our eggs and things like that, and we have timber products because, like we were saying, we have about 6.5 acres of forest that we've been managing here, and
Whoa.
yeah, so that's where our farm income is coming through, and so like as far as like the Rag and
Cool.
Bone Meadery farm aspect,
Yeah.
we're doing pretty okay here.
So
Yeah.
are you guys
Yeah.
gonna go SRAM style and keep your own bees and farm your own farm and harvest your own stuff and do estate
Well,
meads and all that type of stuff?
we would love to go as hard as Tram does for their like legacy, like orchards and everything and
Yeah.
all that. But we will do the best that we can. We really wanted to grow elderberry because we love elderberry, and
Ooh, hell
by
yeah.
some yeah,
I love it.
by some stroke of magic or something.
Yeah, we had even contacted a nursery. We were going to buy like 50 or 75 sticks of elderberries plugs so that we can plug them all along the irrigation
Oh,
line
gotcha.
where we have the farm. And they canceled, and they didn't want to deliver.
They canceled on you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was an out-of-state nursery, but
Oh.
then last year,
By magic, or like birds,
by actual magic,
birds, drop seeds because of, it works
Yeah.
that way through. Yeah, birds drop seeds. However they do it, they do it. I don't need to get into the gross detail. An elderberry bush/tree has started growing.
and now it's humongous.
Cool.
It's 9 feet tall, and it
Whoa.
sent off 20 runners this year.
So,
I'm 20 what?
Runners. It just sent off 20 shoots.
I'm tree stupid, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I live on
it
an almond farm
propagated-
and I'm tree stupid. Tally those bananas.
Yeah. The elderberry bush, it just self-propagated, and there's shoots all over the place where it sprouted out, exactly where we wanted to plant it, and it's pretty great. I'm really happy about it. It's very fortuitous, and that's what I can say.
If I have to be technical, I'm going to
say.
say, I think it's not a bush. I think it's a shrubbery. Sorry.
Well, so long as you don't say me.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I love it. You guys are my people.
Yeah. Yeah, like to bring it back though. Yeah, we're Shrams is a good blueprint for like the farm to winery, machine, and it's really cool. And it's great. It's great. We were both wearing black polo shirts with the name of our meaderies on it, so I felt like that was a happy coincidence as well.
Yeah, you kind of cut out for a second there, but I believe you were saying you met Ken Schramm at Sugar Belt Richmond last year because you did a phenomenal post about it. You and him are again in those black shirts with your thing. You guys both got big smiles on your face. So I met Ken at Sugar Belt, the other Sugar Belt, the previous one in May, and I had a similar grin on my face when I got to meet him as well. There's something it's like I try to remain, keep your cool, so to speak. It's just Ken Schramm. He's another mead maker, and then you sit there and it's like, it's Ken Schramm. Exactly. Yeah. I just did the same thing.
Yeah, but we're also really blessed to have a lot of great mead makers in our area. Frequently, we go down to Delaware and see Liquid Alchemy Beverages and
Birmingham
Meadery. John Talkington down there. He's
also like
he's incredible.
He's a font of knowledge, and he also is like he's not gonna mess around. He's like we asked him not directly for advice, but he was talking with us, and he's like, just take your time. Like, take your time. Don't rush into this. And inadvertently, we have taken a lot of time. So I always think about him and how he said, just take your time. And I'm like, okay, John said to take your time. And, we're in 4 years now of starting our business. And it's like, you know what? It happens when it happens. And we're just going to keep working. And because John said it was okay.
Yeah, he's a super knowledgeable guy. If there's any mead maker out there that I'm going to take advice from, it's certainly he's going to be in the upper echelon of people. I was fortunate enough; I had a distribution license in Arizona and was fortunate enough to carry their products in Arizona. And every time I went to an event, their stuff was a sellout hit every time.
Oh yeah.
They make great stuff, and to have them be that close to you, I'm a bit envious. The wife and I are considering moving to Virginia here, not in the very near future. So I'm thinking some trips to Delaware are definitely going to be in order.
Nice.
Yeah. That's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. That's easy.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, and
so
Oh no, sorry, go for it.
That's the only thing I hate about not having the video on both ends. It's like you kind of miss those like visual cues to like, who's speaking and whatnot. I was just going to ask, have you guys been entering any competitions, or are you how much how much meaty type of stuff are you doing right now still?
Well, it's mostly been historical competitions in our medieval society we're a part of.
Oh, cool.
We haven't done anything modern recently. Because the medieval ones that we go to, they're in person and they're local, so it's just a little bit easier and accessible for us. Because we really do want that like in-person feedback, and so that's what we look for. So we did.
Yeah, in September we had a really great showing. We won a historical competition here in South Jersey. Which was nice, and then we've just been attending. We
also go to panels where a lot of mead makers bring their homebrews, and sometimes they're like strictly historical, where you need source material like a primary source.
Yeah. Skyrim probably doesn't count, right?
No, unfortunately not. But if you could find something Scandinavian, like
sure.
This is the Medieval Home Companion. This is a book that we like to go through. There's a Hippocras in here, but yeah, we mostly have been just spending a lot of time with medieval homebrewers.
Yeah.
We would love to enter the Mazer Cup again. But,
Nina had a phenomenal score on the Mazer Cup when she entered a few years ago. She entered a Pyment, which was from grapes that she helped grow at our neighbor's vineyard at Raccoon Creek, which we both used to work for.
And I didn't even tell them that I stomped them with my feet.
Legit. Wait a second here. What year did you enter?
Oh gosh, it was pre-pandemic.
It was 21.
No, it was
pre-pandemic.
It was pre-pandemic, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was pre-pandemic. Yeah, like
it was probably like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
Actually, though they did hold it in storage for a long time for some reason. I don't remember why. Maybe it was pandemic. Anyway,
Yeah, it happens. But so you got some good scores on a Pyment that you made, and I do actually have some questions about this, because historical is actually one of those categories that, it's like historical and other, so you get like a Tej or you get like a Trunyak or something like that. But that's pretty much like all you get out of there is either Polish or Ethiopian. So you guys are doing, I'm doing air quotey here, historical styles from like European, you mentioned Norwegian or Norse or something like that, Scandinavian, sorry. What styles are you doing? Because I'm completely unaware of that. I have to admit that I'm as dumb as everybody thinks I am.
You can get into it. I'm just going to mention that we have done 3 major ones. One is French, but everyone knows of Bochet.
Yeah, everybody knows the Bochet.
But that is medieval. And then a German one, and then the Roman one. So if you want to.
Yeah. So my specialty is the Bavarian mead from 1350. It's they call it the Würzburg mead. We also call it the Gütermet because it was from the Güterspice cookbook from 1350 Bavaria. And in this recipe, it's specifically details the use of a resin-lined barrel, because back before they would char the barrels on the inside. Instead, what they would do is they would put brewer's pitch, which is like a food safe pine resin, into the barrels, and then they would spin them around so that it would get like totally enclosed.
Yeah.
And it would kind of like create like a new inside of the barrel for storage. And so this way, it would have like a fairly neutral but like sort of pine flavor, but like it would prevent the barrel from spoiling.
Okay.
And it would keep everything in, just kind of like a closed container. And so
Nice.
to that end, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make this brewer's pitch. And we found some things on. Nina's leaving. Oh yeah, that's right. So no, she's just going to find my inspiration. It was the Pilsner Urquell Brewery in Czech Republic has a living history museum. They claim to make their beer the same way that they did in medieval Bavaria, which they have a process that they have documented on their YouTube channel, and so we were able to go through these notes and try to like transcribe them from Czech.
Yeah,
and,
Slovakian.
Yeah, so it was great, and it turned out great, and we won a bunch of historical awards for it. So,
now,
that was pretty good.
Are you guys part of the SCA?
We are.
The Society of Creative Anachronism? I always get that last word wrong.
Yeah, that is it. It's a mouthful for sure.
Yes. Yeah. My buddies and I, when we were younger, we wanted to join because we wanted to do like, weapon boffer fighting and all that type of stuff. We went to a couple of things. We never ended up getting too into it, but I always have severe admiration for the people that are willing and dedicated enough to find a suit of chainmail, or those people out there that make their own chainmail, or a full suit of armor, and get out there and perform for everybody. It's a dedication, and it's not for me, but I admire the cats that do it.
Man, I don't know how nerdy I want to reveal myself.
Well, he's late period, so he doesn't do chainmail. He does plate. So.
Excellent.
That was just me being like a full-on nerd.
You can push those a little higher, please. There you go with the glass.
All the way up.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, for many years, actually, I still every now and again go help him out. I worked for Ice Falcon Armory, and so we would do all the fitting and polishing by hand in the shop. So, yeah, I built a lot of armor in my time.
So you know your way around an English wheel, do you?
An English wheel? Oh, I don't know, a cat of nine tails, maybe, but.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
That was my second lesson. Oh.
This is what happens when you don't that.
Exactly. No, I love it. I think that's really cool that you guys are in, there's a lot of tropes to different meaderies out there. The Viking theme is very common and popular, the Scandinavian theme, whatever you want to classify it as. And, then I think closely behind that, my terminology, it would be like the medieval themes. There's a place in Arizona called Scale and Feather. They're heavy Dungeons and Dragons themed.
Sure. Chaucer's Mead, big one.
Yeah, huge. And I think Feywood Mead is a huge into like the SCA and the Ren fairs and that type of stuff. And then another place in Texas, Fox and Raven. That's pretty much all they do. Every weekend they're at multiple. Those cats are some of the hardest work, and they work 9 to 5 through the week. And then every weekend they're hitting 2 to 3 to 4 fairs and whatnot. So
I mean, that's something that's definitely going to be a part of Rag and Bone. I can't wait to try to get into the New Jersey Ren fairs.
Yes.
There's a few, and that's our people for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna be your people. If I'm gonna be in Virginia, you guys aren't gonna be that far away from me. You can be.
That's right.
We'll
give me plenty of mead. So 2024 is looking like the year for Rag and Bone. I'm super excited for that. what's been the most difficult thing, other than just the impatiently, hurry up and wait type of thing? What's been the most difficult thing of opening up your commercial spot?
Hmm. That's a really good question. Because I can't just answer like learning how to be a novice plumber or like trying.
But those are
I wouldn't.
legitimate answers.
I
I
wouldn't.
mean,
I,
every commercial mead maker says that too.
yeah,
Learning all the
I,
stuff of having to be a business owner.
I think that's
It's like being a
probably.
homeowner.
Because we can't speak too much to the specific like meadery issues that we've encountered just yet, since we're still on the infrastructure of a working business site
And farm.
Yeah.
and farm. But I would say that trying to wear a lot of hats has been kind of exhausting, because I cannot wait until I am just a mead maker. I'm so excited for that.
It,
Yeah, just this week, Nina's drawn up a site plan for our parking lot, and we had to
cool.
send that to the township. And then the township sent it to an engineer, and they said, "Oh, wait, no, you need to talk to the engineer." And then from that, and then the engineer said, "Oh, you need to go back to the permits office." And then the permits office says, "Oh, let me have a side with the inspector." The inspector called us and said, "Are you sure that you talked to the engineer?"
Okay, so New Jersey is. New
How many
Jersey
rings is your guys' circus now?
Oh gosh,
Yeah, so
but
welcome to bureaucracy of New Jersey. That's pretty famous for it. But
Where we jump rope with red tape.
yeah, but you know what? We have an expression, and if you remember from our YouTube channel,
Yeah.
we will not be defeated by paperwork. Say it with me. We will
We
not
will
be
not
defeated
be
by
defeated by
paperwork.
paperwork. Yes. No, I'm here for it. Yeah. And like you said, bureaucracy and paperwork cannot be the end of your business. My wife is a big time hiker. She wants to hike the Appalachian Trail, and big outdoors person, and she watches a lot of outdoor hikers and YouTubers and stuff. And there, one lady said something that has always rung true to me over the past several years. I've been thinking about it. It says, "You're never allowed to quit on a bad day." It's easy to quit when it's crummy weather, when you're not feeling good, when you're down in the dumps, when the chips are down, so to speak. It's easy to quit on those days. If you're going to quit on something that you're really passionate about and really dedicated to, you have to do it on a good day, when the sun's shining, when you're at your best, because then at least you know that you're in a good spot, and you're not going to be able to look back at it with any regret. Well, oh man, I was in a downtime. It's easy to have that 2020 hindsight.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
yeah, we should write that down.
Yeah,
So,
I never repeat it the same, but it's always stuck with me, and I try to live by that, because there's so many times when it's easy to get just defeated in your own personal life, stuff that's not even related to work or the meadery or everything. Nobody can control their emotions, and it's always hard to have a good day, and sometimes you need to just remember, I can't, because the meadery needs me,
yeah, that's
so to
amazing.
speak.
That's gonna carry us through this spring. I love
Oh,
that. That
good.
was really good. Thank you very much.
Well, like I said, I feel that I first of all, I'm flattered and honored that you guys wanted to be and are happy to join, because like I said, when I initially started, you guys had already been going, and like I said, the mead hall videos, and those are things that inspired me to do what I'm doing. So if I can in turn inspire you, then please consider that a quasi payment towards what I already owe you.
And we've never made a dime off of YouTube, so this is awesome.
Oh, I
I'll,
mean, yeah, it's hard to do. It's hard to make money off the
I'll
YouTubes.
take this as compensation. Thank you.
I
Oh,
mean,
well, you're
it's kind of funny because when we first got started with the channel, we're like, all right, if we can get to 1,000 subscribers and we can get to that
it'll grow
monetization,
and just explode.
yeah. And yeah, then like at 1,000 subscribers, when we applied, like, oh wait, and your views also have to be in the
So many
several
hours.
thousand hours of. And it's just
Yeah.
like, all right,
But
sure.
But talking to you and making friends with people like Mandy and Baywood and getting to know Carlos down in Texas and
Yes.
meeting the guys from Man-Made Mead and doing the most has been like
The real monetization is the friends that you make along the way.
John, you're great, man. I'm glad we got to make this happen before you go out on the boat for the year, brother.
Yeah,
it's pretty
he'll be
great.
in Seattle.
You know what? I will
nice.
be. Are you still out in Seattle, or you're in Arizona now, or?
No, actually, so I'm from Seattle originally. I moved to Arizona in about 2005, lived there for, 2005, lived there for almost 20 years. And the wife and I sold our house last year. We're currently living in an RV, traveling around the country. I'm in California right now, but I'm looking at a couple different gigs over in Virginia. We visited there last year and fell in love with it. It's a lot of a lot like Washington, but not quite as rainy and dreary, which I can't do anymore after living there for 20 plus years.
Yeah, all the hills without the rain.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro. Even just the constant gray skies, that dreary,
Mhm.
like Tacoma, Washington has always been touted as like one of the most depressed cities in the country. And it's just, 300 days or, 275 days of gray skies. It's enough to drive a sane man mad.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And I had an aunt who lived over in Kent by the airport.
That's my
Tacoma.
hometown, bro. I was
Yeah,
born there.
that's right. Yeah. The Tacoma airport's right there. So the planes
Yeah.
just landing, right overhead. It's wild. But there is
Yeah.
something to be said about like when everything is in full bloom and it's
Oh,
green and that like
there's no more beautiful place, in my opinion. I'm a bit biased having grown up there, but yeah, when it's on, there's no more beautiful area than the
yeah.
Pacific Northwest.
And what's crazy in the Pacific Northwest is that you get so many you get so much forage out there. Like I remember like every year picking blackberries and salmon berries, and it's just nuts.
He makes
Salmon berries, yes, that's my man. He knows about salmon berries.
Well,
I don't know if I should talk about this while I'm on a recorded line here, but
We can talk offline, then.
I have a very special salmonberry mead recipe that I usually do every year. So I can't wait for the salmonberries to come up and I always try to pick my my work assignments. I have an option to work in BC or Alaska, British Columbia, and I always try to work in BC because the salmonberries come out sooner in BC than they
because
do
it's
up in
warmer.
Alaska.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So I got to get my salmonberry picking in for the year. It's good.
I guess you can't talk about how you make the mead or where you make it. But...
Hey, I'm all about. I've got a whole Instagram thing full of, sketchy and subjective termed places people are making meads. I love that people are willing to confide in me because I'm here for it. Like when I hear things like that, it makes me envious that you have the opportunity to do something so cool and so unique. And even if it has to be, my terminology, under the radar, so to speak, The Kennedy family was built on prohibition, so I think the American people will forgive you a skosh.
I sometimes forget that our business is it's 21 plus, right? We are very much an adult business. We're never catering to kids, or we're not catering to 20-year-olds. And so I forget that we can be our adult selves. There's no child in earshot typically, and I'm we can be edgy, and I'm I don't know.
We can say PG-13.
Yeah, we're an adult company that sells beverages for people over 21.
And the more you say it, the more you'll believe it.
Yeah.
No, I'm super envious. The fact that you even know what salmon berries are, most people they claim huckleberry and I know Northwest, I know huckleberries. It's okay, salmon berries though. That's my man there, right there. I love it. It's the business.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and trying to pick either the yellow ones or the red ones, and just I like them all. I like it. I like to mix it all up together in a big mixed salmon berry.
Do you have any meads you're working on?
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? Are you brewing?
Oh, I am. I'm currently working on two meads at the second. I got one I'm doing for the Ultimate Mead Maker Challenge for man-made mead. So I've
Right.
got a
Right.
bochet, traditional bochet going on from some honey that he sent us. I did 2/3 of it into a bochet, and I'm keeping the last third of 3 pounds. So I did 2 pounds in the bochet, keeping a pound to back sweeten with if I need to. I started off at 1060. I'm hoping it goes all the way dry using a QA23 yeast.
Yeah, you'll get there.
And oh yeah, fingers crossed. If I don't, I really did something wrong. So I'm hoping that that ends up having a nice kind of robust caramelization without getting too funky. I didn't want something that it was too high of an ABV because it is a timed contest. So I wanted to make sure I have enough time for that any greenness to kind of age
Yeah.
out of it. And I figured something that's gonna be a higher ABV is going to take longer.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of people are afraid of making bocets because they hear that, or they fear that the caramelized sugar won't ferment.
Ferment, yeah.
And no, I found that the bochet it ferments. It ferments
Yeah.
real well.
Yeah. I just try to make sure when I'm doing this is like my third bochet. I try to make sure I have a really healthy colony. I use some Go Firm, pitch a little Fermato in there, make sure I have a nice healthy must when I pitch it,
Yeah.
and from there, if it takes off, it takes off. I haven't had a problem yet. Knock on wood. I'm knocking on my head there. So yeah, you guys got a bar top right there,
Whole place is full of wood.
right? So I'm hoping that one ends up turning out. And then I have a banana coconut mead that I'm working on. I did a 3-gallon orange blossom traditional, and then rested it on. I'm up to about at this point about 15 pounds of Thai bananas and 2 pounds of coconut, and it re-fermented on me. I threw all the chemicals and cast all my voodoo spells and all the hexes I could, and this thing is still just continuing to go. It fermented down to like almost 1 even. I back sweetened it all the way up to 1080, and it re-fermented down to 1040. And it's still re-fermenting.
Bananas have a lot of sugar in them. That's the thing.
We've never used a banana.
And I put so much K meta in this thing. I like when I take the lid off, all I can smell is sulfur. It smells like egg farts when I take the lid off, and I'm like, I cannot add anything else to this. It's going to start being able to taste it, and it's just sitting there. It's bubbling away. I open the bucket, and it sounds like Rice Krispie cereal after you put the milk in it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. If it was cold enough outside, I would cold crash and just throw it outside and down, but it's only getting down to like 45 at night here, and that's kind of at the low end of QA23's range. So I'm like, I don't know what to do.
This is a wild ride.
Yeah,
oh, it is. I'm going to have like a 20% banana coconut mead when I'm done with this.
Yeah, well, that's pretty great. That is pretty great. I mean, we have made a few really high ABV meads, and we did we made a Bloody Mary mead where we fermented the V8 and at that V8, and we did it with a spicy Tabasco sauce, and that came out to be, I think, either 19.5%, and it was powerful stuff. But it wasn't bad if you liked.
I think it's like how Apagard has that the taco mead.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Sorry,
No, it's fine. That's a valid reaction.
No, I mean, like, yeah. There is something to be said about a strong ABV mead.
Yeah.
And especially with that flavor profile, banana coconut, that's very tropical.
Yeah.
You could do a lot with that. I think that might be really well.
Oh yeah, it's like a slushy mead too.
Oh, that would be a phenomenal slushy mead.
That would be. And the cool thing about these Thai bananas I'm using, different than like the regular like Cavendish grocery store bananas, in the
Right.
when you let them go to that almost that overripe brown stage, they kind of start getting this like green apple type of taste to them. So it's like banana, coconut, green apple. It's a trip, and I'm not mad at it. Like the things, like I can taste its potential underneath all the funkiness. Like I remember where it was when it kicked off. I'll tell you what happened. Like I had it was almost dialed in, and I threw my acid adjustment in, and it adjusted the pH. And as soon as I adjusted the pH, within 12 hours, the thing was bubbling and going like a witch's brew. And I was like, holy Christmas, this is not what I intended at all.
Uh,
But like I said, I can taste the potential underneath there. And if it ends up being a 19.5, 20% banana coconut mead that takes 3 or 4 months for the green to age out of it, I'm going to have a phenomenal product in the end, because
yeah.
I'm going to be patient, and I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit on a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it around. I like that.
I just see
Exactly.
one of these comments they're talking about they had a
Yeah.
mustard mead at the Sugar Belt. We
Yeah.
had some pretty
Yes.
wild meads at the Sugar Belt Mead Festival. There was some out there that was like really experimental. Talking
Yeah.
about Major Cup, the experimental section.
There was a mushroom one, I think.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there was a carrot one. These
Mm-hmm.
people who make mead, they do some wild stuff, us included, I guess.
Yes.
All of us included.
If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love
Absolutely.
about mead. As a matter of fact, one thing I really love about mead is that it can be anything. So
Yes.
so long as the primary ingredient is honey, you can have all these additions, and it can be
Yeah.
whatever you want it to be.
The only time you lose me is when you start, like you said, when you start putting the honey as becomes when quote unquote the mead becomes the secondary. These people out there, oh, I'm going to make a Mountain Dew mead, and everything's like all Mountain Dew into it, and it's all focused on soda. That one's specific. Like if you're going to make a mead and you want to make it with Mountain Dew in it, that's fine. But like, don't make. I'm going to ferment Mountain Dew and call that a Mountain Dew mead. That's not how that works. There's no honey in that.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, and I really love that these people are like trying to like get mead a thing, but why don't you try to make a mead that tastes like Mountain Dew or tastes like Baja Blast? I want somebody to make a mead from scratch without
Bro,
using soda that's gonna taste like a Baja Blast.
I just had this conversation with a guy I work with. He's a younger guy. He's 22, 21, 22, somewhere in that range. And he follows some of the TikTok guys that have a little more followers. I
Oh,
don't need to add any names.
you're doing.
Oh, that
Because
dude,
listen,
that's a
anybody can ferment soda. Like, sure, yeah, there's some preservatives into it, but you put a strong enough yeast colony, like you were talking about, you put a strong enough yeast colony into it,
it'll work
anybody
past
can
that.
ferment soda.
Yeah.
Because it's
Basically all
made
you're
of
having is a
sugar.
corn syrup. You're having corn syrup liquor.
You're
You're having
having a
a
Bud Light.
poor man's whiskey.
You're, you're having a Bud Light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It's exactly what you're having, a Bud Light.
Yeah, one of the
Bro.
first winemaking books I ever read
Yeah.
was just
Cheers,
a
bro.
sugar wine, just white sugar,
Oh, the dandelion.
and add dandelions. But it was basically like you can make any wine as long as you have sugar. And the first recipe in that book was just, white sugar turning into wine.
Yeah, 1972.
So once you realize that it's like
Oh,
crazy, and I never made just a plain sugar wine,
Yeah,
but
Skeeter P. Pruno.
but
yeah. Thank you, Bruno.
but there you go. But yeah, we see a lot of the TikTokers as well. I love TikTok. We made a few videos for a while on there several years ago, I guess at this point, and we had a couple blow up, but not like the way that it's blowing up now for the really catchy, grabby things like the Mountain Dew, and there was a couple others.
The guy with the real monotone voice.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Peeps, Mead
Peeps.
Weaver and Golden Hive. Yeah, I know. There's the guy with the gauntlet on. He's got less followers. Then the one guy is Golden Hive. He's got like
I want to
a
say,
million plus followers and stuff. Like I've reached out to that guy sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but when Threads came out, the Instagram version of Twitter, like I actually got a hold of that guy. He only had like maybe around 1,000 followers because it was really new. And I tried to get this guy on so bad, and the guy, I, I'm on a
Yeah.
tangent now,
Yeah.
and I'm not about people who are buying followers and who are buying likes and clout like that. I just can't do it.
All I want
The sad thing is that
I
he
don't
might
want
have
to
some
put anybody
potential.
down. Yeah, I don't
No,
want to
I
put
will.
anybody
It's
down,
me.
and I don't want to gatekeep Mead because I always
No.
say a high tide raises all the ships.
Okay.
So if they're bringing exposure to the Mead
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
I want more people to know what Mead is. But that's
Mm.
the thing, I want people to know what Mead is.
See, and I used to think that same way, and I've been recently taking note and changing concept. Like, yes, a high tide rises all ships, but do you want somebody's first interaction with mead to be something that turns them away, and now it's something that it's even harder to get that person back? You've
Yeah,
almost done a detriment to the
Mhm.
industry, and I
exactly.
love the
Yeah,
advocacy part, but
yeah.
man, it's such a danger.
I
In my
want.
opinion, a
Yeah,
dangerous game.
exactly. Yeah, I want people to be aware of what mead is, but I don't want them to think that mead is just a bunch of science experiments.
Mhm.
Right. And that's it. Like that's why I name drop and I say things, because I want to have things as an open discourse. There's so many of these conversations, just like you said, and I understand this is a little bit different, about the salmonberry mead that's, potentially a grossness factor or something like that. But like there's so many things that happen in the world of mead for being such a small industry that happen behind quote unquote closed doors, comments, between people. And all I want to do is bring an open discourse to this, because it's such a small, there's so few in the grand scheme of things, so few people out there doing this, that we're only hurting ourselves and hurting the industry by not taking ourselves seriously. How can we expect other people to take us seriously if we're not going to take ourselves seriously, for
That's
lack
right.
of a better term?
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah,
And that's
I was
why
really hoping. Yeah, no, I I was just gonna say about exposure. I was really hoping that
yeah.
uh I think was his name Dylan Sprouse
Mhm.
in
Oh, that would have been phenomenal if
All
that shit
Wise.
would have took off.
I
Yeah.
want we went to All Wise Meadery and we met him just
Oh
super
wow.
casually.
Yeah, he's up in Brooklyn, which is just like 2 hours away from us.
And so
Nice.
it was like we didn't at the time I think we were still just doing Mead Hall and
That's right.
we weren't really Rag and Bone yet, so we weren't
Yeah.
like, oh hey, we also want to do this thing that you are doing. Any
Yeah.
advice? But he was like really chill and about, that life.
Yeah, like one of
For
the,
Yeah.
better words.
No.
yeah,
But I was really
I,
hoping that like he would pull in like Gen Z people, like they're all in their 20s now,
use the
and like
Zach
a younger
and
crowd.
Cody clout to bring in the younger crowd. I got you.
I was like rooting for him. I was like, you out of all of us could be like the thing that launches Mead into like a more public discourse, and
Yeah.
but I think he stepped away or it closed or
yeah, they,
something.
they closed down.
Yeah.
So that
I
was
think it's unofficial. They never put anything out about it, but they like you can't buy their stuff. I haven't been by their meadery, but like it. Yeah, my guess is they're game over, unfortunately, because
that
that was a
sucks.
lot of potential.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's kind of funny, we did kind of the opposite of what they did. They bought a big commercial space. They bought, 1,000-gallon fermenter tanks,
They did it all the
and
wrong way, in my opinion.
and here we are setting up our tasting room for the past 3 years. And
Yeah. Well, like I don't know what his background is. Like I don't know if he had a bunch of brewing background on top of, or mead making background. Like,
he
but
was
to just go in with
100%.
like that type of fucking space and that amount of tanks, and 1,000-gallon tanks aren't huge, but they're not small either. I mean, 1,000 gallons, that's a hefty chunk of investment to get going in. And for a product that at the time when he was doing it was significantly smaller. I think
Right.
he started in like about 2018
Yeah.
ish, somewhere in there. And that was a perfect time. I mean, that was on right when the rocket was really taking off. I mean, it had already lifted off, but I mean, we're really getting to the stratosphere now. And to see somebody who had that type of, whoa, oh, sorry, I knocked my camera over. To see somebody that had that type of you know monetary funds available and that type of resources, let's call it resources available to fall behind. That's kind of a
Yeah.
disheartening thing.
Yeah, and I wanted to see more, and I wanted to see because at the time, they only had like the three varieties available,
Yep.
and I wanted to see more, and I wanted to see them grow and get bigger,
Sure.
and use that like we're talking about high tide raises all ships, like actually stick to it, and like
That's a big boat.
that's a big boat, you know.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's
Zach and
that's
Cody.
that's a pretty big suite.
I think they had the Sweet Life on a boat once. Anyway, I'm trying to make a connection, but I never really watched the show, so I don't know the lore of Zach and Cody.
Yeah, I'm 41. Like the whole coming up on 42. The Zach and Cody thing was a little bit beyond my times. If you started talking like sister or smart guy or something, I think I'm on board.
Yeah, I think I was in college
Yeah,
when Zach and Cody was happening.
yeah. I'm not too far behind you there. So you
Let me behind
are
this cat.
so you're definitely still in the process of opening the meadery.
Yeah.
You're not. It's still a for sure thing that's going to be happening. So anybody who's not out already following Rag and Bone, hit them up on all the socials, hit them up on their YouTube channel, give that a follow, because I guarantee you're going to be wanting to be in the know once that starts going again. Because I imagine once everything's settled down, the YouTube channel will kind of flow back up again.
Yeah, one of the things we want to be a lot. We want to increase our digital footprint when we open our meadery,
Sure.
and talking about the types of mead that we make. We want to have more in-depth tasting videos, and we want to have like a Q. Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
But yeah, we will absolutely be.
Oh, I think I gave a secret away.
We're going to be ramping.
Good thing I didn't hear it.
But yeah, we will be. We're still steaming ahead.
Yeah.
We will do our best to update people more.
Yeah.
It's just something we forget to think about. Like I don't even think about it sometimes, and I think that helps us get the work done quicker in person. But it also does not help the people who want to drink our mead and come here. So
everything is content. Everything is content.
Ah, that's true. A little scary.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Talking about the farm and mead making, we have a very ambitious flower program that we're doing, and we're bringing on another farmer onto the property, and we're giving them a good like 3/4 acre to just grow flowers for the bees.
So
cool.
Yeah. So
on.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a nice pollinator garden and do all kinds of fun stuff, and it's just one more thing for us to do on the farm, and it's pretty great for the bees. It's good.
And we'll let you all know how that goes.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me. Do you have like a few more minutes? I'm trying to bring back my randomized questions at the end of my segment. So I have some kind of goofy questions I'd love to ask if you got a second.
Oh, we're nothing but goofy, man. You know that.
I love it. That's why I love you guys. Favorite beer styles?
I love lambic beers. I like fruity, soury beers. Basically fruit
fruity,
beers.
Soury beer. Yes.
I am very firmly a traditional fest beer, Oktoberfest beers.
There you go.
Yeah.
To make them or to drink them?
For drinking. I swear if I could drink them all year round, I would.
That's awesome. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Chronomancy. I want to control time.
They control time. Yes, that's a good one.
The most powerful magic. She'd beat me 10 out of 10. I just want to merge with Shadow.
Whoa. Well.
Hey, man, I'm on board with that, too. I'm definitely here for that. What's your favorite breakfast cereal? Even from when you were a kid or now, if you're still eating them?
Breakfast cereal. Oh my gosh. My mom didn't allow like sweet cereal. So, I mean, I really always wanted those like Lucky Charms.
Yeah. I feel so bad for you. Like, I feel like a part of my childhood now hurts because you didn't get to have cereal.
But anyway, I'm a waffle crisp guy.
That's my
Yeah.
boy right there.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that stuff. Maple.
As long as it's not in my beer. I don't like maple, fermented maple. Post edition maple is okay. Fermented maple, not my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
Hmm.
Feed the cats.
Oh,
Yeah. There's probably like
yeah.
a cat near me. So I pet it or I groan about it being
Yes.
too close to me.
Sitting directly on your chest there, staring directly into your soul, saying, "Hey, it's time to feed me, even though I have food in my dish.
Yeah.
Get up."
Feed the cats. Feed the chickens. Feed everybody else.
Feed the wife.
Feed the wife.
Feed.
Make coffee.
Oh, I'm sure the hungry wife is the angriest of them all.
Yeah,
It's an
I
angry,
meow very
grumpy.
loud.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we only
Yeah,
have to feed the
very.
bees like twice a year.
Oh man, I wish we could have talked more about the bees. That means just have to have you back on about for bee talk. Um,
You know, I have a lot to talk about that. So yeah, maybe we'll have to wait for another section.
yes, no, and I'm trying to expand out into other things just mead related. So I've got one next week. I'm going to be doing a yeast talk. So with
Nice.
a couple of microbiologists. So definitely, I would love to have you on on the bee talk.
Oh yeah.
Um, what was your first car that you ever had?
I took over my parents' Isuzu Rodeo.
There you go, nice SUV. All right.
Yeah.
And I had a two-tone gray 1987 Dodge Dakota.
Oh, there you go. Two-tone gray Dodge Dakota. Oh no, that was the Rams that had the big ram head in the middle for the
Yeah.
hood ornament. But
No, this 1987, that was the first year that they made the Dakotas, and it was the first mid-size pickup truck. And it had an 8-foot bed,
full
and
size.
I had
Okay.
and I had a Lear top that went on the back end, and I put a
Yes.
full-size mattress in the back of the pickup truck.
Oh, this dude knows how to kill it. I want to hang out with you in person, John. You seem you're an amazing guy. If you're going out to the bar drinking, are we playing pool? Are we shooting pool? Are we playing darts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're darts people.
Yes. One thing I always wanted to do, I never lived someplace long enough that had a bar close enough to be in a dart league, but I always wanted to be in a dart league. My parents were in a dart league when I was, before I was born and when I was a real little kid. And they always found like their flights, their darts sitting around. They had like a custom flights on them and everything. It always mesmerized me. I wanted to be in that realm so bad.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What's your best Halloween costume, either individually or as a couple?
I think as a couple, I put on some fishing waders and I made John into a mermaid, but I made him a reverse mermaid. He
So
was
the
fish
top
on
half was
top,
fish.
and then I sewed him a cod piece, and so that
Oh,
was basically the bottom.
so I sewed him a cut. Of all the sentences I think that were going to be reiterated tonight, that was not one of them. I didn't think I'd be hearing about I sewed him a cut.
I still have the
No, but
pattern. I can email it to you if you also want to sew a cod
God,
piece.
please do not.
Yeah, bring it up
No,
to John Uppegard, and you guys could do Lands Connect.
Yeah. Oh, cod pieces for
dead.
Lansing.
I'm dead. I'm so dead right now. That's awesome. Oh, you guys are great. So if you weren't going to be commercial mead makers, where would you think your journey would be taking you?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because I know you
I
guys
was a yoga.
started off as I would say the yoga studio thing.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd still be being a yoga teacher or instructor?
I don't know. I think I would still be on the farm doing something, but I don't know. I think I would be a farmer, probably. I don't know. What about you?
Well, I think I would be working at my family's clothing recycling company.
Mm.
Yeah. So,
Is that a legit thing? Like that's a
yeah.
real thing? Your family family has a clothing recycling program?
So yeah, we operate the Family Recycling Associates is a clothing drive for autism, and my grandfather started it in the '60s, and they've been managing it ever since.
Yeah, they all the proceeds go to a school for
Autistic
adults. Yeah, to just
to learn life skills and things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very complicated. The family
Yeah.
business is it's
yeah.
run by a lot of different things,
I
and
don't know if that's a dream
that's
job.
not something I really want to talk about, and it's not.
No, fair
But
enough.
no,
Well,
he asked like what I would do if it didn't have the
yeah.
metering. Probably be that.
Well, as a parent of an autistic child, I have to applaud and accommodate, especially since the '60s, for people to have been aware of something so fundamentally like understandable until very recently. That I mean, that takes a special place in my heart. So but I can also completely understand not wanting to be involved with that as the primary source of your business. That is a difficult thing to be on board with.
Yeah, I mean,
Admirable,
it's
but
not.
difficult.
Yeah, we don't deal too much with the school end of it. We just mostly manage
Sure.
the receiving of the clothing part of it. But like we have gone out to the schools out in Shrewsbury, New Jersey, and yeah,
It's just a cool concept altogether.
yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, don't
So,
sell yourself short. It's cool. I appreciate your being humble, but it's a really cool thing.
yeah, yeah. What about you? What about you, TK?
Oh, what about me?
Yeah, what if I
Oh,
mean
if I wasn't a mead maker, what would I be doing? Well, technically, I'm still not a mead maker. I'm right now I make vinegar. I work at a vinegar manufacturer here in California. I'm really learning a lot about. There's a lot of similarities. So it's made from wine. It's like almost the exact opposite of a winery. We consume wine. We don't make wine. So we take wine, turn it into vinegar. Lots of different. We do apple cider. We do rice, red, white, distilled, and 24 different flavors of all these different things. So um, having done all this, I guess if I'd never got into mead making, I'd probably still be doing what I initially did. Be working in aerospace, super boring, working in quality assurance, checking documents, reading things with calipers and micrometers, and being an alcoholic to deal with the stress. I mean, if we're talking real talk here, I mean,
oh God.
I didn't know that about you. That's very not well. I mean, we're all functioning alcoholics, but no, I'm just kidding. But wow,
kind of.
aerospace. That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely, I had aerospace background, had got into that many years ago. Not initially aerospace, just manufacturing in general, and kind of worked my way into aerospace. Being up in Seattle, there's a lot of subsidiaries of Boeing, so
Oh, yeah.
if you work in manufacturing, it's kind of going to be unavoidable to be making stuff for them in some way, shape, or form, and continue that when I moved to Arizona.
Let's just
Say
say
what?
I love this timeline, and I'm so glad that we're all doing Mead something.
Yeah. This is the best time, right?
This is
Yes,
the best time.
yes, I much enjoy speaking with you guys and doing this type of thing. If I could eventually work this into some sort of hosting gig or something profitable in this capacity, I would love it. But even if I can I would also love to open a commercial meadery. It's in the 5-year plan. Not quite sure how that's going to work out, but I'm staying positive about it, and I really like to I'm really enjoying the world of mead and all the people who are in it.
Yeah.
The vast majority of people. There's a handful of dicks out there.
Hey, if you do decide to open a meadery, remember our expression, it'll serve you well.
You will not be defeated by paperwork.
I will not be defeated by paperwork. And on that note, I think that's a phenomenal spot to end. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Like I said, you guys
Thank you for having
inspired
us.
me, and in turn, I can get to have you guys on here. And like I said, when I'm out in Virginia, I'll make it a point to get out there and visit you guys. And I want to see that greenhouse. My wife is just absolutely in love with the whole concept. She wants to have a greenhouse tasting room too. So
We'd love to have you.
You can stay upstairs.
Hey, all right. So we can't
Airbnb.
see each other, but I don't know if you still got a drink in your hand.
I
Let's
do.
do a toast. Mead toast.
Yay.
Mead toast. Cheers.
To mead. Cheers. Thanks for having
Mead.
us.
Yes. Thanks for being on here. Everybody, go follow Rag Bone on all the socials, on the YouTube channel, and follow their journey. Go check out their cool greenhouse and all that stuff. John, Nina, John, thank you so much for being here. And again, like I said, your inspirations, and I'm truly honored that you were here today.
Thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Awesome. You guys have a great rest of your evening.
All right.
And I'll definitely be in touch. Yes. All right. That was phenomenal. Thank you to John and Nina and John for showing up. Had a great talk with them, guys. Like I said, go follow them. Rag Bone Meadery on the social medias. Didn't even get to talk to them about why they're called Rag Bones. There's so much. Could have a whole nother interview with these guys. But again, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. And next week we will be doing the yeast symposium with a couple of microbiologists. We got Nico from Stardust Cellars and Dr. Katie Hale from, I believe it's North Carolina University. They are a couple of yeast nerds, and they're going to clue us in on some history of yeast, the differences between brewing yeast and baking yeast, and just basically kind of let's put some squash on some of the BS that we think about yeast and get it from, the people who are scientifically there. Super excited for that one. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you guys on the next TK and Drinks.